came down from the listed market, right, in bankruptcy, and so you can tell that by seeing it's a five-letter symbol with that ends in Q, right? And so that's how you typically tell if a symbol is trading down here in bankruptcy. And so let me bring it up real quick, see where it is in the pre-market. Yeah, so right now there's a bid out there above $2 in YELLQ, and like Sean said, when it first came down here, it was trading sub a dollar, it spiked up to like 250, 260 range, and so now it's still trading above $2 here. So another one to look at, right? And then the names that we're always talking about, 10 cent TCEHY, uh, GBTC, Luckin Coffee, LKNCY, are all names that traded a decent amount yesterday. And so, you look at those again today. But like I said, a relatively pretty quiet week here at OTC markets.
Yeah, as we head towards the long weekend, I wanted to bring up crypto. I was just hearing from one of the news wires that we are once again today potentially expecting a ruling on these ETFs coming through as far as Grayscale is concerned. Could be at 11 o'clock. It's been 3 weeks in a row of Tuesday at 11 o'clock. We might hear from the SEC on this Grayscale ETF conversion. I mean, no guarantees as far as anything going to happen today, but obviously worth a mention.
Yeah, and so since we're talking about Grayscale, right, we can also bring up ETHE, which is their Ethereum trust, right? So that's ETHE, and so their Ethereum trust, goes right along with kind of GBTC, which is their Bitcoin trust, and so yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on. Especially when it's pending an announcement from the SEC, right? You're most likely definitely going to get a decent amount of activity in these names, a little spike up in activity in these names, so GBTC and ETHE.
Put you on the spot here. I don't know if you even will have this available or not, but if we do get a yes on this decision, walk us through the process here, if you can give us some insight into what would happen potentially with that.
Okay, so that's a great question. So, I actually don't know how that they would actually handle this process, right? Or would they spin off another product into an ETF? Would they turn the trust into an ETF? Right, that's something that we're going to have to keep an eye out for. But I'll definitely do some digging, and next time I'm on, we can look at that a little bit more.
Stuff. I'll still, I know Sharif beside me here wanted to mention BYD with earnings, another Chinese name, beating across the board. Nice look for BYDDY over on the OTC.
It's another name that, it comes up once in a while. We talk about it. A few trades going off here in the pre-market. It's actually trading up. About almost $3 here in the pre-market. Some bids out there above 60, and it closed at 58.52. So yeah, another name to look at here. Maybe probably once 9:30. That's definitely something to keep an eye on. It's BYDDY.
Two different listings there, BYDDY and then BYDDF. A few people, including Sharif, wanting to know the difference there between those.
Five-letter symbols ending in Y, that is an ADR. Five-letter symbols ending in F, that's actually the foreign ordinary share. So that is the actual share that is quoted here in the U.S. under a U.S. dollar-denominated quote, and so typically access is easier to the Y share of that because as you would expect, if you're trading a local share, there's things that come into play on the clearing side. There's usually some additional costs there. And so for the people who are typically watching this show, and trading in and out of names and looking for a quick day trade, you're definitely going to want to look at the Y version of this, just because it's typically easier and more cost efficient to actually make the trade in it. Not saying anything is wrong with the actual foreign ordinary share, but for knowing what a lot of the guys on the show are looking to do, you're going to want to look at the BYDDY. And so actually we talk about F shares a lot in between here in Canada. And so a lot of the Canadian names like the TSX and CSE listed names actually trade down here as an F share. But because the connection between the Canadian depository and the DTC down here, it bridges that gap, and it actually makes it easier and more efficient for those F shares, the Canadian F shares, to trade down here in the U.S. That same connection isn't in place between the other clearing depositories globally.
Great stuff. Great insight. Glad I asked. Jeff Mendel, head of broker dealer sales at OTC Markets. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Brendan.
That was pretty super informative there, because I feel like when you see symbols like that, there's a couple other examples as well out there to know what the F versus the Y is there at the end of the name. So I think I have BYDDY up right now, and I think that's pretty important to understand that one is going to be that ADR, one is going to be the F shares foreign. So I feel like, again, just a little tip from him, you may want to trade BYDDY for a little bit more volume, but look at this drop. If they're going to actually be performing and delivering on their product, we have BYD pluses here on the TTC. So they're already, come through delivering right now. I mean, this is not a horrible opportunity to maybe get a little taste of some of this Chinese exposure, into, because this was a name that also Warren Buffett and everybody was invested in as well. I'm not sure if they currently are or not. People in the chat probably would know this a little bit better than I, but this is a great little opportunity here. What did we say it's printing in the pre-market? We don't have any prints, but you have a bid rate here at 60.80, so it's already, breaking through the 200 period and try to take this out. I think if you can take out to 50, $63, I'm going to stamp a buy on this. I mean, again, actually performing, actually delivering vehicles. I like Boyd down here, so BYD, down here at these levels. So thanks, Jeff Mendel, for that. And again, I feel like it's going to be really interesting to watch out. And great question by Brendan as well. What's exactly going to happen? I actually own some Grayscale shares, so we'll see what happens with all of this. I felt like this was a good exposure into Bitcoin. Obviously holding some crypto as well. But this was a good one where you can hold on exchange, and we'll wait to see what happens with GBTC. That's the Grayscale Bitcoin, and then ETHE is the Ethereum Trust as well. So we're going to wait to see what happens with these two names, but there you go. I'm not going to analyze these. I mean, we all know where Bitcoin is and where Ethereum is. So, take this for what it's worth. It'll be interesting to see what this decision brings and where these names start to trade. So, yeah, great interview there. Thanks. Good to have Jeff back. Although he's still a friend of ours, he didn't come through with the golfing, so I'm going to have to harass him on WhatsApp coming up in the next couple of minutes.
I know he keeps saying he's going to come here, but yeah, it's been a while. All right, let's get some analyst moves for you. Here's some upgrades and downgrades for you to start off the day. There's more settlements that came through, another announcement from 3M in addition to what happened yesterday. So there was one or two I saw positive notes there, including one from Wolf, Oracle, AT&T, Verizon, all upside. Not much to deal with downside today, guys.
3M, we talked about that yesterday, man. What a great trade. Well, I don't know. It wasn't a great trade yesterday. We were waiting for a breakout of 106 yesterday on 3M, and at the end of the day, it was that 104.25 area. Can you put that back up, actually, just quickly? Sorry. Oracle, we really like the tech names. I'm going to look at that today, I feel like, on an upgrade or downgrade. And nothing really too exciting there on the right side, unless you're into that HSBC bank. But for me here, 3M still remains a good story, man. We like that they got that out of the way. Thanks, Fabian. I like that they got the lawsuit out of the way. They have some sort of a settlement, even though it's $6 billion or so. Good little name there. The one thing I want to talk about when we're looking at, here it is, just nice upside move. This was the level that we were looking at to see if it could break yesterday, was right here. And we wanted this long at the end of the day, but the problem is it came in like at 350 when those imbalances came in, and that's just not not really worth it at the end of the day there. But that's a good trade. I feel like you can use 104 maybe as a bottom. But what I was going to, or as some sort of support, what I wanted to say about upgrades and downgrades, you know, they're great and they give you these kind of bump ups, but you still need to sort of believe in the story. And it's sometimes, you know, these guys sort of trading their own book a little bit here. Oracle, look at this move all the way down. You're telling me that, I don't know who it was that upgraded it. Can you see who that was on the board there, Fabian? Tell it to my ear or whatever. But you could see right down here, $98. Like, these are some good support areas down there. So I feel like it's just areas where you can get long, and then you get a nice little bump up there, and then now it's going to be continued through. So, you know, you want to read the reports. You want to make sure that you can get involved on the long side or the short side, but make sure that you understand the macro story here. No, I was just going to say, who wound up upgrading, this is not Oracle's chart, who wound up upgrading Oracle yesterday? Because what I wanted to look at was where they're coming from, right? So you can see right here, 114. I thought it was on the upgrade board there. Yeah, so who upgraded it is what I was looking for. The name of who upgraded it. But okay, 114. Anyways, what I'm getting at is that you have a nice base down here at 112. Put the board back up. That would be the best thing to do at this point, so I can actually see. There's UBS. Thank you so much. There it is right there. Okay, so what I was trying to get at is I like Oracle for a play. I think you want to get into the nuts and bolts. I like Oracle down there, but at the same time, you know, are they upgrading it because it's just above the 50-period moving average? You really want to understand why the upgrades and downgrades are there before you jump into the trade, long story short.
Maybe it's a good point. Sharif was just saying there was that fat finger trade last week that no one seems to be acknowledging or talking about at this point. So anyway, I want to mention quickly, we got some housing data there at 9 o'clock. House price index downside, to be expected, I guess, 0.3% up. So it was an increase of 0.3% versus an increase of 0.6 expected. So that was at 9 o'clock. Remember, Jolt's at 10. Which is employment related, and then we also get this one, which is always a market mover, the Conference Board's Consumer Confidence Index. So we'll bring that to you again coming up at 10 o'clock. Let's get a look at the overall market. Sharif's got that for you with the futures.
We closed out at 4442 yesterday, Brendo. We're hanging out just a smidge below that now, 4439. But the same play remains intact. We're looking at resistance here going back to mid-June and early July at this 4,500 or maybe 4490 level. We haven't been able to break that even in the lead up to the Jackson Hole Symposium. We weren't able to break it. Can we make it up there, or can we hold today's levels? I'll be looking for that.
All right, let's get into everything else you need to know here as we head towards the open on a pretty interesting Tuesday setting up overall. If you haven't done so, watchlist.tradertv.live, enter your email address. You'll get that then sent right to your inbox every single day for free. Let's start with NIO, a couple of Chinese ADRs. Speaking of ADRs, here's one of them, PDD coming up next, but now 6% downside for NIO. Long story short, they're spending way too much money to make their cars.
Missing on the top line, missing on the bottom line, a bit my tongue there. And quarter over quarter, vehicle deliveries are down. Year over year on the quarter, vehicle deliveries are down. It's not a good look whatsoever. I made a video about it this morning. If you want the nitty gritty, make sure to check that out. But BYD was able to do well. Why not?
Yeah, it comes at a time when BYD, when Tesla obviously is still having great success over in that market. So we are teetering here, to say the least, guys, at a key level.
Yeah, look, I mean, NIO is like, yikes. You're right down here to $10. And it's exactly what Sharif mentioned there. You know, you're not going to be able to survive in this market, especially with a raising rate environment and a high rate environment already. To park our money in a stock that just continues to put up these numbers. Operating loss of 5.46 billion yuan. So they miss on that number by $1 billion. Their revenues, though, 8.7, but they're still losing 5.7 or 5.4. It's absolutely ridiculous. They miss on revenues. They deliver less cars, 6.1% down from a year before. I just can't find a reason to go in here and buy this name. Not only do you have a non-operating success story here, you also have what we just talked about, Chinese-U.S. relations. not really firing off right now. There's some representatives heading over to China right now to try to quell everything, but at the same time, nothing ever gets done, man. It's a lot of ceremonies, it's a lot of this and that. I just, you know, this has been, someone knew about this for a long time here. Like, we were just at $16 2 weeks ago. Like, isn't that kind of a shame, the way that these stocks move? Like, you think you're into a good name here with NIO. You know, it looks like it's starting to get going to the upside, and all of a sudden, like, a really decent rug pull. Like, this is pretty sad, man. It's almost down after today. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if you get into the 9s here, obviously. We're at 10 right now, so you get back into here. Like, that's pretty... Obviously, it's not like you're not going to investigate the company over this, but, you know, this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, like 12, 13, 15 days here of negativity with sprinkled in a couple green days here. You do not want to catch this falling sword, I feel like. It's not even a knife, it's a sword. You know, a big quadrunk down. You're right at the 200 period, which could give us some support. It's just in this area. Remember what we were just talking about with the upgrades and downgrades? You have to believe in the name in order to support it. And honestly, I just don't know with this kind of a report coming through. It's only, I looked at the short float, it's like 7%. So I don't think that that's going to save the day here for NIO. And I was looking for an area, and I'm just going to use the 200 period moving average, which I wrote down here on the sticky note, which I'm working on. Just got to get it out right now to you guys, is 1060. So, you know, the 200 period was up here like 1070, 1080. I wrote down 1060, figuring it was going to be here near open, and that's basically what we're doing here. So I'll trade NIO. The levels were 1060 here this morning. I like it off the 200 period. No matter where this stock opens, I'm going to use the 200 period as resistance. So that's what I'm going to be doing, shorting NIO, and we can put out 100 shares here just to see if I have to pay for shorts or not. No, you do not. So right there. So we just got an active order out. We don't have to pay for shorts. NIO is a dumpster fire, Obi.
Yeah, man. Definitely been selling off for a few weeks, right? I think you're right about that. Someone definitely knew. Someone always knows, right? But you just looking left at this level. Like, I like the $10 level here on Neo. You can see that before it kind of had this accelerated run up, it kind of based off here a little bit around this $10 level, first from underneath. It builds up into it, and then it pops up above it, and then kind of holds. So I really like that 10. The level's been interacted with on both sides. So yeah, I think definitely with that negative news, more reasons to sell. Let's see if that selling kind of continues today into this previous support. And I think if we can get underneath this $10 convincingly, I think we can stay short underneath that.
All right, all we've been hearing coming out of China is the lack of strength and weakness, in fact, across the board in their economy. A lack of participation from consumers specifically. But here comes PDD with their earnings report pointing to specifically strength from the consumer in that market, and also strength from digital online sales and advertising as well. So what do you believe? But 12.5% here is not nothing, I guess, for Pinduoduo.
No, not when you increase your revenue 66.3% year over year. Look, it's a discount retailer. The consumer is getting squeezed, whether in China, whether here. So they're looking for deals, they're looking for sales. I was talking about this a few weeks ago with our friend Neil. Temu app is the app here that they're using to kind of have their products listed. They offer free shipping, basically for anything, $5, $3. So it's a good look for a time when the consumer is looking for discounts.
If you go to the daily chart here, 93 ends up being a huge level here, right in the middle from way back at the beginning of the year, guys. So we're right back to that last high for PDD again.
All right. I was just working on getting that note out to everybody. But yeah, I really like that top of 93. I mean, I feel like there is a good chance to break this here today. And just like Sharif said, that Temu app, like, being able to ship things worldwide and it's cheap and it's free. And I feel like that does fit. We talked about some people maybe, going down on retail, like downsizing into Walmarts instead of Targets, and just watching their purse strings a little bit more. But again, just another Chinese name right here that we looked at Neo, which is all the way down here. You know, Alibaba's trying to get going as well. And it's just like there's a lot of big business over there in China. So it's just a matter of what do you want to do with this huge move to the upside here today. It's up 12%. Even U.S. names that we've seen spike up huge, like a Walmart, on earnings, got faded, right? So I don't see why this name shouldn't be similar to that. So do I think there's a good chance that we could take 93? Yes, I do. But I'd rather short it first. So as it comes back up into this level, I'm just going to say that, hey, great report, you know, but let's just look outside, look at a little bit of macro here, and I just don't want to be long Chinese names. So I feel that if I was coming in here today, and this is just me, there's going to be a lot of traders that do want this Chinese exposure, and they'll be really happy with this kind of a move. But I would fade this. I mean, coming up into tops. This is a great opportunity right now for again, like I said, you know, put on the tin hat. But if you're building a short position, this would be a great opportunity to start buying some, getting some puts, getting some short shares, putting them into your account, and then all of a sudden releasing a negative piece or downgrading or something like that. So it gets back into the $70, $80 level. You were down here just before. It's great that we bounced off the 50 and the 200. Great area of support. If you rolled the dice on this earnings report, congratulations. I just wonder if it's a sell opportunity right now. If we're only going to be talking about this app, you know, that gets faded. You know, we're getting back to school now. I don't know how much U.S. money is going into this name. For me, it's a fade at this 93, but I wouldn't be surprised if it took it as well. So what I mean by that is get short 92, 92.50, something like that, with your 93 as your out, right? I mean, this is pretty clear right there. It's 92.95 is that top that we put back in August 1st. Yeah. Is that, oh, that's Cat. I thought that was Randy buying it. I was like, okay. We have a bear and a bull here. What are you thinking on that?
I don't know. I wanna say let's start off with a little bit of this, but like we'll put this guy right here. We still want to stay a little unbiased, you know, a little biased but flexible.
Any bias on PD?
Yeah, I think I was just taking a look at the day chart. I think something interesting on PDD is that since this March of 22 here with this, look at this heavy R vol right there, the significant volume that kind of comes in and makes this base here at the beginning of 2022. Every earnings since then, PDD has been just trending up, right? I think I like that look. That's a pretty decent look. And today, on I guess on a little bit of missed earnings, but surprise on revenue, we're kind of gapping up into these resistances from before. So yeah, this 97, 93 area is decent. I think it has the pressure to kind of push it towards for a potential test of 105 in the coming days or in the coming months even if we don't do it today. But yeah, no, definitely looks like a decently strong stock for the past 2 years. Back-to-back earnings are kind of supporting these bottoms that are being made. And yeah, look at this. It's doing like a 20-point churn on the way up. And then it seems like this earnings is kind of reason to kind of continue drawing out that chart there on PDD. But yeah, I think I like that strength off those earnings. And yeah, let's see if we can have a decent morning drive. That a lot of the ADRs had a decent drive yesterday as well, but PDD did not, right? And today we might be looking for that drive today as well. So.
As per our contract.
All right, let's talk some tech names here. Nothing significant as far as news coming out of big tech land today. We are seeing a little bit of strength here. This is Google to the upside now. There was a ruling against some of their advertising practices. I want to mention this, though. Amazon was an interesting look here, hiking their shipping fee or the minimum purchase value for free shipping for non-Prime members. I was just saying to Sharif, I wonder what that ratio is of how many people actually shopping on Amazon, Prime versus non-Prime, and whether or not how big a deal that is. But 40% is not nothing.
No, it's not. And they take my money every month, so I would know what that's like. But let's talk a little bit about Google because it's the only tech name that's green on the day, up half a point now. They're looking at monetizing their Google Maps. What they want to do is basically they want to sell the API, the data, to solar companies like Tesla, Sunrun, but they also want to monetize it with some of these real estate advertisers like Redfin, Zillow, and the like, to basically give them an insight into the market in a way that they don't have. So interesting look here, looking to monetize in a time where revenue is scarce.
Yeah, Google high or higher pre-market here. Here's Amazon. Meanwhile, just went red again after trying to get back to positive. Still below that level from yesterday, guys.
So that's open stock right there. So I just read over the chat, and yeah, apparently Temu is a very, very popular app right there. And shout out to Nicole Harris and everybody that was buying that stock for that reason. Like I said, I don't know if PDD is a long or a short. It's just
Seems
that
like I should have just stayed
I
in
feel like you
bed
want to get in
today.
front of it, and then when it breaks it, you can just plow into that long if you liked it, or wait for. I mean, let me just go over that one more time here, or go because I didn't realize it was that popular there on the chat. You know, like $90 is about to break right now, and if you do break that $90 mark, I mean those are just warning shots. That's all, and it's just a matter of like when you break this, then where do you go? There's just we haven't had sort of anything in this gap area for a while, so you know that's why. Like, if you're gonna go, we could go back here and say 87.50, something like that for a drop, but that's too far, and that's what I'm saying. Like if it's gonna go to 87, then I have to talk about it being a short, right? So. Yeah, you're in this zone right now. I feel like you want to buy this dip.
Everyone hold hands.
Get any about then for all that on the chat. So maybe now we won't go short, but I'm not in love with it. It's not even on this thing. One name that is on the note today is going to be Google. And I mean, I was talking about going short this name once we were under 130 because of day trade.
And away you go.
This is the name that we were on as well. Look at this gold. 130. You know, I mean, this is a great ball. You don't need to fight it. You just need to wait for it. Come back into 130. This is an open yesterday. You know, had that rip up, and we actually had a 132 break. So it was actually fine. Good trading, but then you could see, it was Bob a 92 break. Actually, we didn't have, I think we had the 132 break as well on this. But it did fall back in, so we sort of started up higher than where we were today, yesterday. Now you're getting faded back in. I'm not going to worry about anything other than technicals on this name. This has been one of the Magnificent Seven that is still above the 50-period moving average. On the after show the last couple days, we had talked about names that were above and below the 50-period moving average. I know my guy beside me over here is going to talk about Amazon, but there's a lot of names. I mean, I would think so, but there's a lot of these big tech names that are still underneath and continue to grind higher, trying to get above. Meta's one of those right there. We saw Apple with a big movement in the last couple of days. Since we're talking about big tech, Apple gets going. This is a name that was my #1 stock yesterday that we had on a break long. I think right here when we broke that VWAP right there, we had this long, which was fantastic, all the way up to 180. So yeah, we just need to get above. Google's the healthiest of, he's the healthiest of all the names. I want to take Google to the long side. But I want to be patient with it. And just like
I see everything.
You don't need to rush into anything. And said, see here,
becomes the wrong test.
I actually forgot about that, right? So heading into the week,
Make yourselves at home. Let the magic be.
Picked the wrong test subject.
You don't want to punch
I'm out of here.
and then you are that guy that the liquidity that everybody's waiting for, right? So I felt like I made a couple of those mistakes yesterday. We're going to see if we can tighten it up today with a 130-ish bid here on Google.
Fuck 3M, actually. Let's talk 3M. Intel's very quiet so far this morning. There was an event yesterday that launched a couple of new products, but no volume whatsoever. This one might be a little bit more exciting. 3M back to the upside, trying to hold these levels from yesterday. 104, 104 and a half, I guess, was that level from the pre-market yesterday, up another 1%. Another settlement announced on a whole bunch of additional cases on top of what happened yesterday. So we end up holding higher yesterday on a ton of volume. That's worth mentioning as well.
Yeah, and it was interesting because yesterday I was under the impression it was going to be $5.5 billion in settlement. Actually, it's going to be $6 billion. Here's the look though. 5 billion of which is going to be in cash, 1 billion of which is going to be in stock. I'm not really sure how that's going to work, but the good look here, it's been long in the making. 2013 to 2015, 2003 to 2015 was the years that they were alleged to have been selling these defective earplugs. So here we go. Good for shareholders.
Yeah, we've been seeing these reports.
Ad Astra.
For months and months.
Thank you for
trying to get back above 105 here, guys.
Play again, right? I mean, I feel like yesterday, you know, we talked about it. I really liked the long early, but we didn't really get going past this 106 area, so it was kind of easy to avoid because this is happening in the pre-market right about now, 9:20. So when the market opened, it just, you know, spit down. And this one was a lot. We look back at the chart at the end of the day, and it was like, remember we looked at this about 3 o'clock, and we were just like, oh my God. Down here at 102, not only was that sort of these wicked bottoms there at 8 o'clock, but if you're looking at a daily chart, I really thought this was a great opportunity to get some in right there. You know, fell back in, and the reason why I liked it was we had the 50-period moving average was around 102 yesterday. Now it's 102.50, but you know, nice movement down into that level. Again, 6% dividend. I like the name. It's always great. We had J&J clear the way with their towel as well. Then you saw them spin off Kenvue. 3M in over it's either 40 or 70,000 different products. So yeah, that's a little bit of a problem. Too much so. But again, when a name is this depressed, I feel like you do have buying opportunities. Might be a little bit up there right now. Let's wait to see on 3M on the liquidity, but I like dip down opportunities here. So if we get something like that, let's go. But Obi, everyone's waiting for you because you're kind of bypassing there on the big tech name. So let's go and talk about a little bit.
Another lucky try. Freeze!
Dumpty Dumpty Go!
Cheap.
Can't touch me! Sharing my knowledge!
Taste my blade. Freeze! Freeze!
Surprise!
Area right here, and then if we can break that as well, right, that 134 coming in before as well, right? So yeah, if we can break above 133 plus these tops from here, I think we have space back to the upside. That 135 definitely being interesting, but if that's not the case and we get back down, that 132 break, we got a couple of levels down here as well. We know that 131.50 was pretty interesting a couple of weeks back, and even a couple of days back as well.
Another lucky
I see everything!
try. Freeze!
Make yourselves at home! It was an accident.
And then consolidate and hold that 104
End you!
really tight.
I don't understand.
We were able to overcome that resistance that brought us back down below 100, so we're holding above that. And just looking left, this is a key area, right, that we bounced off of yesterday. We've had significant kind of bounces and rips and rejections off of this around that 102. So we're holding above that now, and we're holding above yesterday's end of day consolidation as well. So I think that 106 is definitely in the stars for today. Let's see if that can come in and we can finally get that execution we were looking for yesterday, a potential pop on the back.
All right, one more here just to get through to 9:30. VinFast finally downside. Well, there's that. Trying to hold 70 here in the pre-market, 71 even as support. No additional news on this, but maybe a lack thereof catalyst helping this thing get back to that gap fill. So finally back around the 70-71 area. Still, I mean, pretty impressive.
Yeah, there's really no technicals to talk about that we haven't already mentioned to you. I'm sorry, fundamentals to talk about that we haven't already mentioned to you on the show. So let's look at the technicals. Yesterday we had a bit of a double top right at that $90 level. I mean, we wake up at 92.50, but the closing trades all around 90. Here's a look though. The low from yesterday was around that 77.50. It's also acting as that.
Everyone hold hands!
breaking off the today on the bottom.
Jumpy, jumpy, jump!
Fire.
Yummy!
Freeze.
I don't know how to do
Remember, just
Test subject.
I see everything.
You win. Freeze. Cut down.
Boing, boing, boom!
But yeah, so VFS is the
Everyone hold hands.
good trades, some good support levels. We already know about what's up with this, and you know that 99% like he's not going to be able to get out of it, so you're going to have to sort of let this wind itself back down, and then try to figure out some key levels that you might want to look at. I marked down there on the sticky note, which I just put out here today, about 65 level here on VinFast. So we'll have a quick look. 65 tier support bail if it takes this out. So I feel that there's a lot of traders, and I've gotten some texts and some tweets at me and stuff like that. What do I think about this? And I just want to say that, you know, like you've kept on sort of increasing up. This has been the first day where we're sort of going to open up down below. And it's not the very first day. I mean, we've had a lot of trading down here. But in the first day in the last week where we're sort of going to look like it wants to push lower. Now, will that happen? Who knows? VinFast has been good, and that's what I mean. Literally, who knows? Like, we could ask the 8-ball, which we got right here. Thank you, Mr. Westermeyer. It's still right here. So I was just thinking that, like, if you break through this 65 area, then that takes out yesterday and the day before, and then you had this big jump up from 65. I feel like that 65 definitely puts down to the 57 area. Thank you, Mr. Rain, for listening to us on the podcast.
Where do you go?
Into this 57.50 area. So that's where I'm saying if you're long into this name, you may want to bail at 65 and then watch out for 57 and change right there. So that was something that, you know, I just wanted to have a quick look at and see if there was any sort of support there at 65. So I feel like if you're still in that name, that might be an area where we'd like to bail. So for me, that's VinFast. But like you talked about it, what time is it? We only have 3 minutes. It has given you areas of support. So I feel like if you're going to trade this name, don't do it off the jump. Wait to see if it holds this 70. Or if you like it now and you know that you have $4 worth of risk in your account, maybe you take it and don't let it break to the 70. But a longer look for me is 65.
Yeah, definitely. I think the first red day, that's a decent look, good look. First day opening below previous day's consolidation, right? Every day kind of before that, you kind of pop back up. Well, here I guess we opened up here and then we rip right back up. So maybe we want to be careful of those rips. And if we kind of open and we revisit back into this range, and I think the same thing goes as like. This thing is squeezing on like a multi-day, so you definitely have to be aware of that. And yeah, yesterday's consolidation low. We saw that it kind of dips into that 76, that 77, and then it rips right back up. So if we can use that level as like an over/under and kind of base our trades off of that, and kind of give it that buffer room for that, I guess that like a bit of a wipe risk. I guess we could just continue just to melt up, each one of these little pops kind of flip traps. You know, we look like we were heavy 15-4 all day from like 10:45. So about an hour after the open. How long will it? Right about an hour 15 after the open, we just
give you those closing trades. Oh yeah, by the way, right now, so I was just showing this to see what some of these imbalances are. These are all the New York names, but I just did want to go with it. I mean, because I can't catch flack when, you know, AMD is going up and everyone's like, oh, look at this guy holding shares against the market trend. And what is this guy doing? Look, I'm here to, I flush myself down the toilet probably more. I'll probably celebrate a little more trades, but the thing is, AMD's now pulling back down, and we're just getting out at those same spots. So I feel actually pretty good about not averaging in right there, even though this was the top. See, that's the difference in what I'm trying to change about myself, right? Sometimes you look in the mirror, you know, man in the mirror. You like Michael Jackson. Okay, so
Add Astra.
why would I average into the short? Like we already took the short at 130. You know, like obviously when you're looking at the market at 330, things can change, but it didn't break. So all of this since 130, all these shorts are printing out right now. So it's just like, I didn't want to average in there because then I felt like the market's breaking higher. Even though this is basing out and giving me that trade, it's just like, no, I felt like that might have been a trap. So when it comes back in, let's just keep taking it out, milk that trade as much as we possibly can, and then we'll see what happens from that point. I just had an opportunity to sell Microsoft right there. For the dub. But I'm just going to say, if it wants to fall down, let's let it fall down. Again, right? We lost already there, 30, 40 cents, whatever it was. Now we're going to have to see if we can make that money back into 327. Target areas down here. 327, 27, like that. Watch the trade on Softy. Let's see where it goes right now into the close. Coinbase, obviously, similar story. Now making moves down. So these shorts that we put on at 130-ish, 2 o'clock, still printing. So, you know, those have been good. We made some money back here in the afternoon. All right, Uber, still a buy. Let's see. These are brokers. This is what's on the floor of NYC right now. Pretty much
Make yourselves at home. Jumpy, jumpy.
All right.
Into the wrong side.
Hey, here you go. Be amazed.
You win. Freeze. Picked the wrong test subject. Picked the wrong test subject.
A couple extra. I've already taken one home. We got a couple extra. Singapore came all the way from. Yeah, that was really cool. Bottle of it. You got one of these. Yeah. So thank you. Shout out to Nimit as well.
On the floor here.
I mean,
so
I hit the
it's
enemy.
quick. Yeah.
All right, so yeah, there it is. Shout out to Nimit and everybody that's been visiting us at some point in time. All right, you know what? I'm not going to get out anymore. AMD was the assisted on this much more. AMD did resist that 106.
Another test voice.
I'm out of here. Ninjutsu. The Temple of Wisdom.
Cheap tricks. Free.
Over.
Cheap. Ready. Free.
Tired.
Free.
That's going to be like, I feel like
This.
free.
Fall before me. Fall before me. The wrong test subject. Free.
Grow. Really
You
good.
win. This. Free. Free.
Dumpy.
Picked the wrong test subject.
So, I have a few stories about. So this is one of the.
Yeah. Woo.
I don't remember.
The wrong test
Sava has
subject.
is I call it it's another one of those like repeat offenders where it has the ability to do those liquidity traps. You know, it has a decent amount of interest. Again, and it's a biotech, right? So a lot of opportunity for moves either way on Cassava Sciences. But yeah, let's take a look back. Yeah, this ticker has seen a lot of different prices. Like take a look at this squeeze back in the day from down here, sub-dollar ticker. Sorry, sub $10 ticker. I remember some of these days down here when Cassava Sciences was underneath a couple dollars there. But yeah, you can. I think you can tell that this name has a bit of a chance to squeeze every now and then when it sets up the right way, as it has in the past. But yeah, again, Cassava Sciences, always decent opportunity, but no, hasn't really been doing a lot of those kind of moves as of late, and I think part of that might be because it could have been fueled by well, some of those moves were fueled by the whole the COVID phase that we went through. So yeah, some of those names from those days, a lot of those biotechs are still around. And some of them were kind of have achieved new highs. I think Moderna, was it Moderna or was it NVAX? Sorry, NVAX was the one where it kind of, I remember trading it when it was like pretty much right here, in and around these $10 levels. And then you guys know where Novavax went over the past couple of years, right? So some of these tickers decently pulled back from those COVID highs that we kind of experienced, right? So yeah, you see that 2020. Before that, it was just trading sub $10, and then 2020 comes along, and you're like, hey, this is a repeat offender. I have a decent strategy to short some of these, swing short some of these names, and you're like, oh, what's happening? Oh, we keep bidding up. Oh, I'm gonna add some more onto
This
that.
realm is
Yep,
truly
squizzles.
beginning to thrive.
Straight to the moon. Get squeezed. So yeah, some of these names have decent volatility, but yeah, I think that was a lot of those moves were really driven by that COVID catalyst.
If
We
you
saw
ever
what
have
kind of effects they had on the market, so people started getting long some of these names that had the potential to really kind of quote unquote cure the world, right? Or quell the symptoms of the flu. So, I think these had
This
some
realm is-
decent volume, but yeah, if you're still holding the bag on some of these, they're back to where they started. So except for I think Moderna is held well. I think what's the other one as well? Pfizer, yeah. Funny thing, Pfizer was near the top of the markets.
They had a miss in one of their recent trials. Pfizer, yeah, because Pfizer's still getting beat up pretty good.
But they've been around for a while. They have a good drug base. Yeah.
Oh yeah. They're one of the biggest in the world. Yeah, with Merck, they had a special blue pill that some people take. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, you might recognize the.
Yeah.
They have these signs everywhere now. You know?
I forget. Oh, they had Lipitor as well.
Yeah.
What is the one I'm thinking of? You can say it. I forget. Viagra.
Viagra, that's what I'm talking about.
Could
they have these signs all over Toronto now. It's like, oh, get like a free trial of Viagra or whatever.
Free trial?
Something not from Pfizer. Maybe you don't want to trust those, but I'm like, yeah, you're definitely seeing those little blue pill pictures around Toronto.
Yeah. Faux show. Okay, yeah, this is Pfizer's daily chart. It's been pretty disastrous to the downside right now for Pfizer. So Pfizer coming into $36, $37. It's just the wrong screen, but everything else is fine. Right there, 36 and change. So I've actually been buying some Pfizer down here. We'll wait to see if there is a bump up, but yeah, some nice highs there, fading pretty good there, man. That looks like a Nike or something like that. All right, yeah, into the close here. It's 3:46. We will show you the imbalances when they do come. There it is. Perfect. We do have some good fills down there at 106, but let's go and listen to an ad.
IG.com trade Forex pairs like Euro USD with spreads as low as 0.8 pips and zero commissions at IG. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, there it is. We did have Frank Berna from IG, so make sure you scan that and go check those guys out if, of course, you are in the United States. Tesla out. I don't think that price might be. Did Tesla just fade off that 258 level there? Yes. Wow. Damn, Daniel. I shorted. What is he got? Those white. What is it? Back in again with those white Vans. Yeah, I do like that one. But of course, what is my? I'm short Microsoft that only wants to go up. It's all the way up. And then there's Tesla that we
If you
called as
ever
well
have
at
any
258,
questions
all the way
about the
down.
realm within,
Right now I'm gonna
you
test
may
one more
ask
time here
me.
on Microsoft. Give it to 250, 250. Maybe that's why I shouldn't trade it. 328, just a little bit north of that right now on Softy. We'll punch in a bit to see if that wants to go down against that level. So that probably wants to go up. But yeah, that was a good call. And look what just happened on AMD. Finally, there it is, man. I mean, this is you know, this is what I'm talking about when you hold some shorts, and you know some of the names will work obviously, and some of the names won't. But this is a good day here on AMD as it's just pulling back, right? So I mean, we didn't short this. Obviously, looking back, we should have. But I told you why we didn't. We were short early and getting it late. So that's a good trade there. Coinbase back to $1 in the money. Let's just check out what GBTC is doing. Nice little drop down on that name there. NIO does hit 11, man. Wow. Congratulations on NIO. Like that's anybody that believed in this name, that held out on their account and didn't panic sell like a bunch did, man. We took huge advantage of this sell early. All my money was pretty much made early today, but then you had that bump up to 11 and a nice move down. We're only a minute away from these imbalances populating, so we can have a quick look at them when they do populate. Obviously, there we go. We're back into softy right now. It stopped in the 60s before, so if we can get something now in the 70s, will give us a little bit of a trade. Then into the 50s, and then we'll see if we can get a lower move on that. But I don't hold out too much hope that Microsoft is going to go to the downside. It just looks like it wants to hang out there. We shorted definitely the wrong name today. We should have been short that Tesla move. I know Google's been pulling back. Not sure what Amazon's doing. Probably Apple. Let's look at this market going lower, Microsoft going higher. I want to hate this stock market, although it's one of my favorite stocks of all time. So sorry about saying that, Microsoft. We do like you a lot. That is for sure. Probably should have picked another name to short, though. That's a little irresponsible to go back in the same one. But here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Let's see what happens here. There it is. So Microsoft, it only goes down into the 80s. But we're only short at, okay, there it is. Yes, sir. Nice pullback down for Microsoft now. Starting to go a little bit. We'll see if it's even on here. MSF, well, here comes the market. So, all right. Wow, if we wind up being flat somehow net-wise on Microsoft, I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll wait to see here if it does flush. Okay, so Google's a buy. So maybe I'll zoom in a little bit so you can all see these a little bit. Google's a buy. If we have that number, we'll get it. Please. Yeah. No rush, bro. Billion? 1.5 to build to buy. 1.5 to buy on the B side. B, go Bay side. You know what that's from? It's from Saved by the Bell, but that's
okay.
You know Zach Morris, like the real Zach Morris?
I've heard the name.
Beep, go Bayside. You know AC Slater?
No, I'm not familiar. I know that kind of reminds me of that
Man, I'm
song.
so old.
From the Terminator, you know.
You know the Terminator. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
But no Kelly Kapowski.
I'm not. Yeah, no.
Was it
I'm
Jesse
not too,
Spano or something? Okay, you know Screech.
I feel like I should know these things, but I kind of don't.
It's all good, bro. It's all good. I'm
a little
too old. Nah. I'm old, man.
No. I just
really
don't know my pop culture very well.
Yeah, I know, but that's not.
I'm not really.
This is pop culture back when I was a wee little one, like in the '90s. There. So shout out to everybody that's there. You know, everyone had a crush on Kelly Kapowski. Period. Like, and if you didn't, then honestly, right, Sharif? Go to Sharif. Thumbs up on Kelly Kapowski. What do you mean? Sharif is there. There he is. Okay.
There he is.
I was like, what? Did Sharif just like take off on that? Right there. Mr. Belding? We do not remember Mr. Belding, man. Zach Moore should have been suspended like every single day. Right there, but was not. So shout out to that. The Bayside, was it the Bayside Bears or something like that? Anyways, who knows? I'm more, whatever. Maybe I'm just here for as we go. But another good out for us in the 80s on AMD as we go. We did take advantage right there back in. I was going to ask Kat about something about the Bell. But yeah, Kat, you know Saved by the Bell? Okay, so she knows about it, but I have to mention it. Okay, do you know Zach Morris? No, so there you go. So that would be the number one name. No, I thought they... Dude, it's not, you don't have to feel bad. I told you, I'm the one feeling bad. Right? So don't worry about it. No, besides the point, now I've lost my train of thought. There was a... Yeah. Well, I really derailed this show, so that was really great. that is when television was innocent, man. Back in the good old days, like there was dinosaurs. You know, Alf. Yeah. That was the little monster guy. That was a family show. That was a great show. Alf. We can really go back here. The radio was here. You know, remember these companies like Family Talk.
That was a little bit of my highlight. So like we would run home every day after school because like Dragon Ball Z would be on.
Yeah, well that's a
and
classic.
Cartoon Network Sunday mornings.
I'm hearing Married with Children in my ear. I mean, that's again like Al Bundy. That guy. I don't know if you can get away with that show right now on primetime because that was a little sketch right there. Miss Applegate was in that show, of course. Christine Applegate. All right, so we only have 5 minutes left. Nice little pullback down. Microsoft went down into the 50s there, and we got a fill like that. What happened to that candle? Let me just check that out. How did we even get that fill down there? I didn't even notice that. How come? Oh yeah, look at this. Look on eSignal. Looky. Right there, it did hit 327.50. So our candle didn't fill out, but there it is on there it is on eSignal. So yeah. Anyways, we actually did well there on this Microsoft trade. So although it does flip over at 355 and go back up to the upside. Again, thank you to everybody for watching today. I feel like we had a great amount of again, only it's only 355, but you nailed it today. Congrats on all the trades and everything. It's been a good one. We will end the day, obviously, higher this afternoon than we started the show, so that's good for us. Right there, as Coinbase is now still $1 in the money, getting ready to take that one out. AMD flushed down for us here as well, as these are the only shorts that we had on heading into the show. There we did take an L. We talked about this on there we working again. Microsoft, this was bad, this was good. It's still negative on it. Wow, again. Nice fill on AMD, okay. So there you go. What is happening with the biggest and the baddest of these guys? Join me on the after show. Join me on the after show, and we'll throw that down. I did not get the link to the big chair because I will tweet it out. Where we have Chris Retcher coming back to some trading that should be really fun. It's a great trade. Talking to the obviously because you'll be doing your due diligence. We have a lot of things planned, man. I want to talk about the difference between Google and Microsoft and how they've been moving together as the AI platforms, right? Everyone thought that Google missed the boat on that. Now Google exceeding Microsoft. So we'll talk about that on the show. And then we'll talk about some earnings. We got Box tonight. Do we have the earnings board? Do you guys want to throw up the earnings board? I know it's not too huge, but we can talk about that. It's HP tonight and Box and Barella later on. And a few ones coming up tomorrow with CRM. Should be the one that most of us are looking at. So I got this. Oh, there you go. You got Earnings Whisper. We can go over to your screen if you want.
I see everything.
Okay, I know the ones that
Boing,
look at
boing,
after it goes in there, it's tomorrow during the morning time, nothing, right? So we'll look, and then it's the day after, man. Okta, general, kind of sold off like some
Jumpy Dumpty Go!
but I'm looking
Hey.
at after this on Wednesday.
Sharing my knowledge.
We have a big show tomorrow, so that tomorrow we'll have
And away I go! Ninjutsu! Blazing to life!
market psychology tomorrow is going to be absolutely fantastic. I'll find her here on Twitter. Twitter's called X. We had her up before. Here's right here, the performance coach. I'm very, very excited to come back on tomorrow. Absolutely fantastic performance coach. We do have a lot of traders around here. psychology is a lot of the game. So we'll have her coming on tomorrow, and it should be real fun, man. So you want to talk about performance coaching and some of the advantages of that? She's going to be on tomorrow, and I think that's going to be a real fun show. So join me tomorrow at 4 o'clock as well. We're lining them up, baby. We're lining them up. So
yeah, I'm definitely interested in that. Like market psychology has always been a little bit of interest of mine, definitely.
Yep, good. Natalie Brunel as well. Going to come on. Natalie Brunel is going to come on this show in a little while, and then we'll have her on. Here we go, man. Obi, I got to take care of some of these positions. So right now we're going to
Can't catch me. I see everything. Cue the spotlight.
Giving us that call.
Boing, boing.
And the last thing we go, there is holding on to a bid there at 87. Oh no, we're on NASDAQ, so we're part of that 2,000. It's got a
I'm out of here. Come on out. Make yourselves at home.
Hopefully we'll get that filler. Get that filler.
Hey.
There it is, right there. So we'll go. Hallelujah. A little bit
Can't catch me.
now,
Everyone hold
only
hands.
30 seconds, 20 seconds, Kat. You got to get over there if you want. There she goes. There's only a little bit of time left. Right now, the close is very strong, bouncing off some of those levels. The countdown is now on here. So what a good... Oh, I got to cancel my stop orders. Yeah, nice little close. We're closing near the top. 3, 2, 1. What a close, man. What a bounce off 15-4 again. I was going to say my friend. That's the line from... The funny thing is, the more you hang around, the more that all these sentences... I was never saying that kind of stuff. Now I'm saying my guy, all this kind of stuff and all these things. So shout out to everybody for watching, and a shout out to our great family that continues to be here every single day, man. Shout out to Igor. Hey, if anybody hasn't hit the like button. So there it is, man. He's had Kat there in front of everybody, so thank you for bringing
Loyalty to my hammer. Suffocate!
I'm here, a little bird in my ear. Maybe the direct bird himself. So it's been a pleasure.
This was
Away I go.
All right, so may or may not. Yes.
Almost dodged that.
So I feel like
Ninjutsu.
I would love to even divide up
Sharing my knowledge.
Everybody will see tomorrow.
Can't catch me. Hey.
We don't know what's going to happen. Thank you so much. Everything that you've been done. Yeah, I think you're fine. But Brendo also.
Everyone hold hands. Be amazed. What did you? Did it?
One back there, one in front, one
The Temple of Wisdom.
but yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to the back. Thank you so much to Canadian. Big shout out to Kat, who's ironed up some back over there as well. There you go. Look at that smile. I like that. And again, thank you to everybody for joining us today. Thank you to Brankos. I know he helped you out a little bit today as well. Shout out to Sharif, who's doing the midday show. Shout out to Yannick. I mean, that guy's doing good as well. Filling in for the Lambo man, Max, Max is good to go, man. He's ready to rock and roll as well. Look, the after show has a death clock on it. It's got to stop at... There he is. There's Yannick. Oh, look at this guy, man. This guy goes all tank top with us there.
Sun's out, guns out.
Trying to deal. Yeah, sun's out, guns out. Yeah, keep that quiet there. But I see it's in the background. When I'm here, nothing's really quiet. So there it is. Shout out to Yannick in the back, man. But what a great show. I got to head over to the desk. So it's been a good one, Obi. Have a great evening, man. And I'll see you after the after show as well. So thank you so much for everybody watching. Stay tuned. I got another half hour. It's going to be a fun one. Chris Retcher coming. More ideas. The Stewie pattern is what we're going to be talking about. So let's throw it over to Sharif. Ciao.
Take care. See ya.
What a day on the market it was today, guys. The major index is up for the third consecutive day. Let's see what was moving markets today. Tesla up huge.
Sharif, thanks, guys. guys. Ciao.
Take care.
What a day on the market it was today, guys. The major indexes up for the third consecutive day. Let's see what was moving markets today. Tesla up huge with the overall market up over 7%. Even after getting a notice from the NHTSA regarding its autopilot, they want to know more information. We already know there's a lawsuit in the works with Tesla and some of the consumers. BTC up big on the day. GBTC wins its lawsuit against the SEC, paving the way for the spot Bitcoin ETFs. We know the likes of ARK, Fidelity, and BlackRock have all filed applications. More to come on that. VFS, though, really down on the day, losing 43% as it shaved off over $65 billion in market cap on the day. Let's see what else the major indexes did. The NQ up 2.17%, able to hold that 50.